Listen, we are back. Make sure you like this video as you are coming in. Make sure you like it. Thank you. What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New. And honey, I am back in the building. Listen, did you miss me? Okay, I said, did you miss me? I think y'all got a video. It was shot last week, but y'all know the routine, honey. Miss Robinson had to get her rest, honey. Okay, we didn't put in 4 days of work in 2 days. Okay, who does that? Okay, listen, 4 days of work in 2 days. So yeah. That's what the girl had to do, and she had to rest up. I'm still not fully rested. I'm never myself until about Thursday, Friday. Then I'm back. And before then, it's tired, honey, on top of tired. But it's been a lot going on, honey, in these streets, honey, okay? It's been a lot. The people is out here dragging Chili by her poor little baby hairs. And it's sad, honey. It's sad. But I feel like Chili needs to learn a lesson. She needs to be humbled. I hate that for people sometimes, because we're all human, right? But I really don't think people get certain stuff until they go through it. Okay? So, yeah. Honey, they is just wearing, they wearing and airing Honey Chili out. We gonna talk a little bit more about why Chili from TLC, honey, is problematic. Yeah, you problematic as hell, voting for the TRU. Look, MP, honey, okay? You are problematic. There is something wrong with you. Something ain't clean, honey, in the buttermilk, okay? Like all the hell that he is causing the people, honey. People ain't got no job, no place to stay. Child, they trying to take away, ain't trying, honey. They done took away the SNAP benefits for the people, child. They don't want you to have your Medicaid, your Medicare. They don't want you to have any type of support. Food prices have gone up. Eating out, we are at war, literally. Shit is bad out here. It's hard out here for a pimp, okay, when he trying to get the money for the rent. Okay, that song is true, honey. Okay, I'm about to turn into DJ and Suge, honey. That was a good ass song though. Didn't they get an Oscar or something for that? I think 3 6 Mafia. I think they got it. But yeah, it's a really bad, and to be so tone deaf and to come out and apologize, and I didn't vote for him. I don't know nothing. Look, she turned into Bill Clinton, honey. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Honey, Chili, you are a Trump supporter, because why is any of that stuff in your algorithm? Why is the stuff with Michelle Obama, child? It's a mess. How dare you? Well, I care about the kids and it's the vets. And no, girl, why did you vote for that man? And look at all the hell that people are going through. So, and then you can't afford this, Chili. And I mean this literally and figuratively. Okay, that's actual and factual. But still, I choose you. Okay, little song break. But girl, wasn't y'all broke back in the day? It's y'all about to be like that again. You better get on the good foot. Dun, 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 dun. Get on the good foot. Tell her T-Boz, okay? All right. I want Chili to see Chili is problematic. Okay, beautiful, gorgeous, stunning, and it didn't want to be called, what was it, chocolate. You are chocolate. What the hell? No, I'm caramel and I got a tan. Ain't no such fucking thing having no tan chili when you are a chocolate woman. You are what you are. Matter of fact, you guys, wasn't she darker back in the day? I know that particular skin tone, though, can get lighter and darker. So, like, y'all help me out with that. But you can get, I know people her color and they can get lighter and then they, but sometimes that particular color is darker, when they're younger. I was darker when I was younger. Shit, honey, I done had a whole little Michael Jackson thing going on up over here. Okay, so I would know. Okay, I got pictures of me. Y'all will be like, is that you? Yes, honey. Okay. I'm a sister. I want to get with ya. Red beans and rice didn't miss ya. Okay. I don't know what made me say that, honey. Listen, we back in the building, honey. We are coming up off, that black person, honey, that's been away from work. Look, for about a week, and they just trying to, find their way back home, honey. Find the rhythm, honey. Okay, that's what we trying to do. We trying to get on the good foot. But yeah, I'm disgusted. And then you guys, y'all gotta know TLC is my favorite group. Like, even more than Destiny's Child. Even more than En Vogue. Even more. TLC just always, gave me what I needed. All of them. I got all of them in me. We here. Okay? We see each other. I went to a TLC concert. I think Destiny's Child was on that tour as well. Just such a big fucking fan of theirs. And this is so disappointing for Chili to be this ignorant. Okay? I know y'all like, Miss Robinson, stop talking about Chili. We here to talk about Melody, girl. Melody is being accused of going broke, honey. The people is saying that, she is on Patreon, honey, for a reason. Because she need the coin. She don't got it no more since she ain't on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Melody got multiple businesses, the property preservation, the skincare line. I mean, she got so much going on, movies, and she's the owner of a network. So none of this can be true. Okay? None of this can be true. But let's see what the people think about this, child. One person says, so everyone thinks that this lady is broke now. She is okay, not because she told me so, but because she is smart enough to make it so, in my opinion. You better say that. Another person says, Melody's 15 minutes of fame is up. She didn't realize that once she left the show, the money left too. The same thing is happening to the basketball wives. They think they will be on forever. She tried to do what Stormy had been doing, and now she's on the downside of reality TV. No one talks about what happens after the lights and cameras stop. What do y'all think about that? But hell, Stormy is back on TV. She about to be on Bill Collector Birmingham. So she probably just using the show, though, to advertise her business more. But I feel like if you don't need reality TV, you don't need it. You wouldn't be on it. I mean, I'm just saying, listen. But it is a great advertising vehicle. So that's the other side of it, honey. So I get it. It's a great way to promote your businesses. So, yeah. What do y'all think of that? All right, baby, let's get to the Married to Medicine of it all. The reunion was really good, you guys. Part 2 was everything. I think I even liked that more than part 1. Steve. Nigga. It was all about that nigga Steve for me. It was like, hallelujah. When I tell you he read Eugene's ass for filth And Eugene was just so taken aback. He had to leave the room. Okay, he walked out, same way he walked out of the vacation. Well, not out of the vacation. I thought it was so funny how they was out of town with the group. What was that? Jamaica. They out of town, and he's trying to defend Toya. And my nigga, your woman wouldn't even come with you as you're like getting ready to storm out. And Toya, she didn't end up leaving with him. He left frustrated. She was the only person that's not listening is Heavenly. Toya wasn't ready to walk out because Toya likes attention. She's an attention seeker. Okay, and her and Eugene, they both fake as hell. I don't know what happened after those taxes. Like when they was going through their little tax issue, about seasons 5 and 6, I started to like Toya a little bit more. 4, 5, and 6. Toya was cool. She had her stink-a-dank ways. But after they ended up paying, the taxes off, they just, I don't know, they lack humility, and they are the ones that should be the most humble. You motherfuckers can't even stay in one house. Like every other season, you are moving to prove a point. Steve and Mimi, when I tell you they clocked their motherfucking ass, and I was so, baby, child, I was over here screaming, honey. You would have thought it was a goddamn Super Bowl. I was, yeah, Steve got a touchdown, Mimi. I was up in this motherfucking street. Yes, shit, having orgasms and shit. Because I love when I watch these shows and they actually go where I want to go. Because nobody for years has ever held Eugene and Toya this accountable. When I tell you that goddamn Steve stayed on Eugene's ass, okay? He was on his ass like white on rice. Okay, he stayed on his ass. It was like he was the goddamn sheriff, honey. Okay. He was on his ass, baby. I was here for it. So, episode picked up where they left off. Simone asked Jackie, did she push Heavenly? Jackie says Simone did not. Heavenly wants Simone to be accountable for all the yelling and screaming she does. That's another thing that's missing from this show and from the reunions. Andy is very biased with how he hosts. He holds the same people accountable. He never gets on Simone's ass. Not the way he does Heavenly. Everybody likes to act like Heavenly is this goddamn Chucky doll. Meanwhile, Simone is so innocent and Toya is so, innocent. They're all, if Heavenly horrible, they horrible too. Matter of fact, they worse than her because they throw rocks and hide their hands. And they're never accountable. Where the hell is Simone's spiritual journey at? I will wait. But Simone and Jackie, they have a very unhealthy friendship. I actually was cringing when everybody was clapping because they had made up. Because once again, Jackie has to bow down and acquiesce to Simone and take her side. Latifah Scott, okay? It was a mess. It was a mess. It was something with Heavenly. It just feels like Heavenly is not here with the group anymore. I feel like her running for office, I feel like she is doing it to help people, but I think it's something about this show that she doesn't like anymore. It's something about it. I saw it with her. I saw it with Damon. It's like they are sick of the But yeah, Simone will never admit or apologize for doing all that damn yelling and screaming. Andy says that's all Simone needed to hear. And like Heavenly said, no, it's not. The bitch wants to be right about everything. And if she doesn't get things her way, that's when she proceeds to yell and scream. And it's like Andy doesn't like get on her enough. Tell her to shut the fuck up. Bitch, you are an employee. I need you to, look, stay in your place. Okay? You ain't at home with Cecil. You ain't running shit. What did Lisa Nicole tell Toya? I'm not Eugene, bitch. You don't run me. Okay? If I was Andy, I would have told Simone, I ain't Cecil, bitch. You better shut up, dude. Like, we need a better motherfucking host. Somebody that's there, like, with the cast. Andy... it's something off about him, you guys. Is it just me? It's just something off about him. He just doesn't go there enough. Okay? He just doesn't. He just only goes in so much. But I'll tell you this, though. One thing I did like that Andy did was he was like when Steve was giving it to Eugene's ass, I got it in my phone. Andy looked impressed than a mother. I was like, yes. So that was good. Jackie tells Simone she shouldn't have unfollowed her. Yeah, like that bitch is childish. Quad tells Simone to follow Jackie again. Andy claps, like I told y'all, everybody clapped about Jackie and Simone making up. And I'm like, y'all clapping for this bullshit? That's what I got in my notes. Andy asks all the ladies, did Heavenly push Simone? They all say no. This is the thing. Simone did not push Heavenly. She removed Heavenly's hand off of her. Does she have the right to do that? Yes. But I feel like it's semantics, though, because I feel like Simone was still wrong. Simone is still too loud. She's still too fucking aggressive. I could see how Heavenly could see that she did that. You know, like, I can. I actually watched it in slow motion and saw Heavenly, like, step back, so I don't know. But to me, it doesn't vindicate Simone. Simone is still guilty. She's just like Toya and Eugene. She refuses to be accountable for her bad behavior. And it is deplorable and it is disgusting. Contessa kind of pissed me off. She said it was a blaring moment. And here go Andy. Ooh, he loved hearing about Black Karen. What about the Karens, Andy? Okay, you focus on them. But he was excited to know. Black Karen? Andy got a kick out of that. See, I got it in my notes. Especially since he don't do shit about the racist Karens. The racist Karens he hires. And Andy comes off to me a little bit like he is a bit of a racist. He does. It's in him. It's just in him. You can see his biases. You can see how he just let the white women on these housewife shows get away with everything. Let it be Nene though. Okay? Let it be Kenya or somebody. You know what I'm saying? Well, Kenya is hell on wheels. I mean, I'm just saying. Like, the way he gaslit Nene about that closet situation after she had told Candy and Portia she didn't want them in there. And for him to come at her at that reunion, well, that was so wrong. You can't antagonize people and then they react and then you gaslight them and switch everything around. I never forgot that. So yeah, I didn't like Contessa saying that because I felt like some of us already feel like Andy is a bit racist, and for you to go against your own people for this motherfucker to accommodate. You are accommodating his bullshit. But go back and watch. He was very excited about the blaring comment. Contessa says Heavenly starts stuff and calls for security. I don't give a fuck about that. I want to know, Contessa, why the hell do you talk about your husband like a fucking dog and then you lie about doing it? So if we're going to call out Heavenly for this shit, let's call you out too. Your ass can be on the carpet. Like, all of them try to scapegoat Heavenly. Maybe it's good that she leaves, because maybe we will see the same shit that we see on Love and Marriage Huntsville, where now y'all can all blame each other and be accountable for the shit that you don't want to be accountable for. Now you want to blame everything on Heavenly. So I felt like she was taking a page out of Simone's book with doing that, but ain't none of them accountable. But they want Heavenly to bow down and acquiesce because she's the most ruthless, outspoken one. And I have more respect for that. I don't care what nobody say. I got more respect for a wolf that I see coming and not, yeah, I'm going to talk shit. I'm going to yell and scream and manipulate to get my way. And you can't do that. That's why it's pointless with the whole Eugene and Toya, and Eugene overly defending Toya when Toya is dead ass wrong, right? Scott says the ladies are looking good so far. Curtis says, hey man, don't be checking out my wife. So, you know, he was teasing him. Curtis talks to Eugene about not getting what? Oh, about not getting caught up with what their wives do. Toya has perpetuated some lie about him. Curtis said Toya said he put his hands on her and other women. Curtis says Toya said other women has come to her about Curtis. First off, Curtis said all of that wrong. He did. I think that Toya only mentioned that he pulled her in his lap. Okay, then we did see the picture with him having his hands on Heavenly. We did see that, right? Then he had already cheated on Jackie. So, do you see what I'm saying? It don't look good. Curtis said, okay, that Toya said other women has come to her about Curtis. Did she say that out on the reunion? Y'all put that on the comments. In the comments. Eugene says, I can't speak on what other people have told her. Curtis says, you can speak to what your wife says. You're always agreeing with her. Curtis was right for that. He was right because that's all Eugene do. He agrees way too much with Toya. And to me, he looked really bad this reunion. He looked horrible. He looked horrible. Their marriage is not all that healthy to me. It is not healthy when your partner overly agrees with you. It's not. Curtis says Eugene supports Toya telling that lie. I also feel like I have something I'm going to play for y'all. I think I'm going to play it as a short. I think that'll be better. Because Simone actually got on Toya for staying in Curtis's lap. So, yeah, he pulled her in, but her big ass surely didn't get up either. She wasn't running from that D. And let's not, oh, no, I didn't say D, honey. Let's not forget, season 5, y'all gotta go back and watch. Toya, had no storyline other than paying off her taxes. She piggybacked off Jackie's storyline and started to feel like, making it look like Eugene could be cheating because they stopped having sex and this, that, and the third. So it's just like, Toya, girl, get out of here. Get out of here. Jackie went through the cheating, season 5. So, yeah. And then Toya blamed Jackie for Curtis cheating. She said Curtis cheated because he was lonely. So how are you defending him in one breath, and now you so offended all these years later, he pulled you into his lap? I feel, and y'all may think I'm crazy for this, but I feel like Toya attracted him pulling her in the lap because she kept obsessing over their goddamn marriage. I'm like, bitch, that's Jackie. It happened to Jackie. Toya has no empathy, okay, when it comes to these women. Curtis cheating on Jackie. She tried to act like she was overly, like, being this good friend to Jackie. Well, I'm just so concerned for you, and and I want you to be able to trust him. And, I think she's forgiving Curtis too quickly. Girl, mind your business. Y'all ain't even close like that. Simone wasn't even acting like that. And we all know her and Jackie have been knowing each other the longest. So it was this fake concern, okay, disguised as support. So she attracted Lapgate because she kept obsessing over cheating and getting mad at her. And it's like, girl, Curtis is married to Jackie. That's for Jackie to have a problem with. Even with how Greg dogged out Quad and was abusive to her. We had Toya denying that it ever happened. We had Toya helping the abuser get back on the show so that she could get back at Quad. Now that Quad and King ain't together, and he didn't talk about Quad like a dog on social media, you befriend him. And if Quad was to do half the shit, I'm talking about half the shit that Toya has did to her, Toya would be up in arms. It's the double standards on this fucking show with her and Simone. They are never held accountable. They don't never, feel bad about what they do to other people, but everybody else should feel bad. Get the fuck out of here. Heavenly says she's not afraid of Simone, but she's afraid of Contessa. Andy says it's not the greatest look for Heavenly to say that she feels physically threatened by Simone. Then says she's gonna rip her throat off. Heavenly says, I ain't say that. I said I'm gonna whip her ass. Thank you, Heavenly. Andy, that ain't how no black... That's a black woman you talking about. She ain't go rip her throat off. We don't talk like that. I was like, Andy, you reaching. That's what I'm saying with Andy. I don't like him as the host. Then we got Brandy, her stupid ass. See, I got it in my notes. Her stupid ass saying Heavenly is unhinged. Girl, shut your ass up. You over there with drunk ass Toya and big teeth Simone. Heavenly says, anyway, what's your name? She said that to Andy. I thought that was funny. And then Andy said, no, what's your name? I thought that was funny. And then Simone, her hating ass. Okay, hating ass, ungrateful at her and Toya, honey. Okay. Simone says, she don't know your name, but she's got your support. I'm like, shut your hating ass up. Are you jealous, Simone? Heavenly says she did the right thing by removing herself from the situation, from the girls' trip. You already remember when she didn't come for a couple of days. And then, Brandy was like, yeah, but you came anyway. Girl, shut up, shit. If it wasn't for Heavenly, you wouldn't be getting a check. Shut your ass up. She was getting on my damn nerves. They got to talking about the importance of doctors of color, and how nurses of color are very, important to the medical community. But now nurses, they aren't considered to be a part of the medical profession anymore. I was like, yeah, that's some BS. That is horrible. We get to the husbands. Before that, Simone and Quad, they are backstage. Simone says to Quad, this room brings back memories. Quad says, girl, let that go. That was a year ago. Thank you. Like, she you could tell Simone has a hard on for Quad. She was ready to start all that goddamn yelling and screaming again. Eugene is shocked that he has first chair. I don't know why, nigga. You've been here for 12 years, okay? 12. And you were acting like a 12-year-old at this reunion. Andy asks Eugene about what did he and Curtis talk about in the green room. Lapgate. Eugene said he wasn't angry about Lapgate, you know, him pulling Toya into his lap. There's no beef. Toya is offended by Curtis pulling her into his lap. I think the bitch kind of liked it, honestly. I do, because that whole fucking season, you would have thought Curtis had cheated on her. Well, my father, I used to have this friend who was an Aries, and anything that would happen with me, this bitch would act like it was her and tell people, and yeah, but we got this baby coming and they're doing this to us, and bitch, who is us? The shit is happening to me. Stay out my damn bit. Like that fake ass concern, and I need to attach myself that way I can be relevant and the attention, okay, can be on me. That's Toya. So she attracted, I said it, okay? She attracted Curtis pulling her into his lap. She attracted it by how she just kept talking about it. And her father, and he was a cheater. And he would want her to help him cheat. Okay, she attracted all of this. So Toya is no victim. And I will be playing the audio of Simone accusing Toya of staying too long in Curtis's lap. But yeah, and Steve said it best. Toya ain't attracted to no damn Eugene. She attracted to King and him. Okay, did y'all see that little clip about how she said that they should have their shirts off, but the rest of the men should be, keep their shirts on? Okay. So yeah. I put in my notes, don't get me wrong, Curtis was wrong for that. But Toya was way too attached to the storyline of Curtis cheating on Jackie. Even Simone felt like Toya was wrong for staying in Curtis's lap. So I'll pull that audio at another time. Curtis mentions Toya being on Watch What Happens Live. Now, this is what he got wrong. Saying that women came to her saying Curtis put his hands on them as well. I don't believe that. That's not what she said. She mentioned you pulled her into your lap. This is after you was in the doghouse with Jackie for cheating. You shouldn't have did that. Then there's a picture of you with your hands on Heavenly's hip. It does look funny. Curtis, I don't know what's going on with Curtis where he can't keep his hands to himself. I think some guys, I'm not making no excuses for him, but some guys are nervous, have this nervous energy. Some women are like that too. It would be similar to, didn't they accuse Kimmy on Love and Marriage Huntsville of like having her hands on Martell or like being inappropriate? Do you see what I'm saying? And it's like the person is inappropriate, but not inappropriate. They have a certain way of being with people. I don't know. I don't know, but Curtis, honey, keep your hands to yourself because the people is watching you, honey. And we ain't gonna never forget that you cheated on Jackie. That's something that everybody bring that up. So I got it in my notes. That was a lie. Curtis didn't properly word that. Toya backstage said that that's a lie. She never said that. She only mentioned how he pulled her in his lap. And and had his hands on Heavenly's waist in a photo. Toya blames Jackie for all this, saying Jackie said that Curtis never did all of that. I think Jackie didn't take it like that. She didn't, and some people may say it's a denial thing, but I think Jackie knows Toya, and Toya has a way of blowing things out of proportion. So yes, Curtis cheated. Okay? That's a fact, right? Yes, Curtis looks a bit handsy. You know, like he has something about him that is inappropriate, but Heavenly didn't come out and say, well, ooh, Curtis had, maybe she feels a certain level of comfort with him. When he pulled Toya into his lap, he was trying to make a point that, you know, he's still cool. He's still cool with the group, and he shouldn't have did that, right? Okay, because Curtis, it did look like you wanted all Toya ass, honey, on your lap, all that ass. And it looked like, honey, she was happy to sit there, too. Okay. Woo. So, Toya blaming Jackie for all of this, I was like, no. It's trash. Don't do that. Then I put, this bitch is stupid. How are you blaming Jackie for this? Toya also told Jackie season 5 that it was her fault that Curtis cheated. He cheated because he was lonely. When it comes to the Jackie and Curtis situation, I'm going to say this. I don't know why Jackie is with Curtis. I don't know what she's getting out of it. If, like, you tried to have all these things with him and he said no to the baby. He said no to adopting. He said no to you wanting the condo and wanting to live in a city. And, you know, like, it's like, damn, when is this gonna be about you? So I feel like Jackie overworks herself for compensating for the lack of what she's not getting from Curtis. So, and then Jackie, season 4, had this attitude. Curtis did keep telling her to spend time with him. They need to be together more. And she did keep working. So at some point, I'm not at all saying that gave him license to cheat. He was still dead ass wrong. But we ain't gonna sit up here and act like, Curtis didn't keep telling Jackie, you know, they need to spend more time. And she kept ignoring him. He didn't even come on the trip for season 4. That last all-cast trip, he stood her up. He didn't even come. So, yeah, Jackie plays a part in her marriage, too. And it's like, if you're not going to spend more time with the person, get a divorce. You're dealing with a human being. But then, on the other side of it, look, on the other side of the tracks, you don't really see it for Curtis. You know, because Curtis didn't even, like, give Jackie all of what she needed to feel complete within the marriage. He didn't acquiesce and, you know, give her the condo she wanted, the child, or none of it. So, yeah. Eugene says to Curtis that he won't even admit that he pulled Toya into his lap. Curtis says he's not gonna admit anything till Eugene takes responsibility for himself. He never seems to do that. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. That is true. That is definitely true. Eugene never takes any accountability for what he does or Toya. He just looked really immature on this reunion. I put in my notes, Curtis is so right about Eugene. Eugene never admits to anything. Eugene starts gaslighting Curtis, talking about, if you want to be stubborn, that's fine. Curtis says, I'm not being stubborn. I'm just trying to be accurate. Now I got a separate page of notes of my observations of Toya. Toya is selfish, self-absorbed, superficial, fake, and on the surface. She hates Quad for the same things that she represents. Eugene used to be likable. He did. He seemed to be more of the logical one. Now it looked like him and Toya, like they share the same fucking brain. It's sad. He's not accountable. Can't say he's sorry for anything. He's easily bothered and triggered. I think all that moving in and out of homes and having financial problems has turned him into an unlikable person. He wants everybody to apologize to him and his wife, but he nor his wife can be accountable for their actions. Toya even admitted at the end of the reunion she doesn't like to admit when she's wrong. She doesn't like to say sorry and doesn't like to apologize. This lady bullied Quad into apologizing over and over again, but she doesn't feel bad for what she does. Curtis says Eugene is lying and he's done with it. So yeah, Curtis had to put a stop to that. Damon lied about getting a massage. He said it wasn't a massage. I wasn't on a table. So the people call semantics, honey. I thought that was funny. Honey, daddy, honey, he was getting his feet rubbed. He said that ain't no massage. That ain't no damn massage. Eugene deflects when Andy brought up how he and Toya went at it with the party that they had at their house. I call bullshit. Eugene and Toya's marriage is toxic as fuck. They love saying how long they've been together, but that ain't got nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Eugene also said that this was an all-cast event. Certain people wouldn't have been invited. Steve says it sounds like a narrative spin. Steve says, I'm speaking up because you tried to blame Mimi. It was very specific. Remember, Brandy stayed behind, and y'all remember she kissed Toya's ass, right? Because Toya cussed Brandy out. All these people did was had a reaction to how you was talking to your husband, and they was trying to tell you, Toya, that you should go about doing it in a better way. Use your femininity. I don't think that was so offensive. I saw so many content creators getting offended over that. It's like, child, your femininity, honey, it helps you get things. Okay, you just gotta know how to use it. Okay. Toya threw Mimi and Heavenly out. Steve says Eugene did not take accountability for how his wife yelled and cursed at Mimi and Heavenly. Yeah, he never felt a way, didn't say anything. Eugene says there's no apology. Mimi's face had a lot of judgment, and so did Heavenly's face. Mimi asked Toya, why did you blame us? Mimi says she didn't talk about Toya's marriage. Yeah, they just had a reaction to how badly you were treating your husband on that night. And you asked them, they rolled, the cameras back, and you asked them, how should I talk to him? And that's when Mimi told you to lean into your femininity. What happened with Toya is a big-ass kid. And when big-ass kids get embarrassed, instead of them being accountable for what they are embarrassed about, which is their bad behavior, they got to point their finger at somebody else. It's always somebody else's fault, right? When you're dealing with these goddamn Aries, these children of the zodiac, honey. No pun intended. Steve says he sees Eugene for what he is. Yeah. He sees him for who and what he is. And baby, I was watching Andy, and Andy likes Steve. This is what I got in my notes. He likes Steve. He had a look of admiration for Steve. I think he liked how Steve was speaking up to Eugene. Because, like, going over the past seasons, like, we had all that Dr. G and Sweet Tea shit. Like, we couldn't get to the bare bones of Toya and Eugene, and they ass is out here like Steve and Mimi, baby. They was a good addition. They been on the Harris's ass like white on rice. Ain't nothing nice, honey, okay? Steve calls Eugene Bush. Rightfully so, as he should, honey. Okay? As you should, okay? Eugene acts like a bitch, honey, okay? I want to go, like, full O-Dog on him, okay? You acting like a little bitch right now, nigga. You acting real parrot. Cecil tells Steve, come on, man, that ain't right. I'm like, Cecil, shut up and pay a bill if you can. And I don't believe that shit about him having 2 jobs, Simone. Sit your lying ass down. He ain't got no goddamn 2 jobs. Why them boys over there spending up Simone's money? 2 jobs, my ass. Cecil ain't doing shit but playing golf all day. Cause you a little bit too mad, bitch. Okay? Steve says we ain't doing that, Cecil. Eugene says Steve has been wrong all day. Eugene says he's been on this stage for 12 years. So why the hell was you so shocked, nigga, that you had first chair, Mr. I've been here for 12 years? You need to act like it. And if you and your raggedy ass wife, y'all been here for 12 years, why y'all didn't donate to the goddamn Med Gala? Okay? Why y'all donating that cheap ass wine? Okay? Child, make it make sense. Eugene says to Steve, the guys have never been this rude to each other. No, he ain't being rude to you. He's talking to you man to man. Okay? But you act like a bitch. Okay? And you want to be in the women's business so you can argue with a fucking woman. You're a weak nigga, Eugene. Curtis says it doesn't matter how long he's been here. That's right. Be accountable for what happened at your house. It started at your damn house. Shit. Exactly. But Mr. and Mrs. U-Haul can't do that. Yes, honey. Mr. and Mrs. U-Haul. Toya and Eugene. Yes. Eugene says Curtis just don't like his wife. That's childish as hell. I hate when people say that. You just don't like such and such. No. Shit. Well, you're being personal. No, it ain't about that. It's just calling some shit out and holding it accountable and responsible. Boy, bye. Bye, Eugene. You non-accountable mother. I got it in my notes. Curtis says he has an issue with the truth not being spoken. Eugene says Curtis hasn't been truthful completely either. I was like, well, that's look kind of fair. They move on. Why didn't Damon tell Heavenly about Damon Jr.'s arrest? Damon says, well, he's a quiet guy and he's a private man and he handled the situation as a father in the best way possible. Damon admits to not knowing how to handle the situation with his son. Damon admits he hasn't seen his son for a while. Personal issues get weaponized in the group. Damon doesn't like when people lie on him. Simone starts screaming backstage and like Mimi and Quad and Jackie, they was all looking at her in disgust like, stop all that damn yelling and screaming, you weirdo. So Simone starts yelling and screaming. She starts saying, fucking tell your wife not to do it to us. It's like, girl, shut up. Scott says Heavenly will say anything, anytime about anybody, even if it's a rumor. And I'm like, Scott, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up and get back to work. I got it in my notes, baby. Don't make me get your file out from season 8. He's upset that Heavenly told Contessa to leave his punk ass because remember when he was treating her real bad, season 8, because his ass was turning 50, going, look, having a midlife crisis, honey, okay? And he had her going through Groundhog Day every day. Y'all remember what Contessa said? Remember, he didn't even support her going back to school. Big Teeth Simone was smiling backstage at that. Scott said people come after Heavenly to retaliate against her. Damon apologizes for Heavenly's behavior. You see that, Eugene? Damon says he hasn't done it. Simone says Damon is a casualty of war. Girl, shut up. I got Simone, shut up. You are a casualty of war against the men in your household that you take care of. Damon says whoever has said things about him is wrong. He don't care that you mad at Heavenly. I agree with him on that. Damon don't bother nobody. Yeah, but that's his wife. And, Damon is on some, y'all got some shit y'all want to say about Heavenly, say it. I'm not even gonna get involved. But just don't say shit about me. I think that that's fair. Because he know that Heavenly can stand on her own. The same way Toya can. Damon says he can be mad at the guys all day. He ain't go say nothing to Mimi and Jackie or any other woman. I feel Damon on that because Damon is a real man. He is. He ain't on that silly shit. Cecil, has any of the guys said anything to the women? Cecil tries to blame the women for everything. I didn't like that. The guys have always had discussions on things and they were able to move on. That's in the past. The things the ladies have said have hurt some people. Damon says he's not making the assumption that the guys have not spoken to their wives. Damon says he has spoken to Heavenly. And Andy said, well, has she listened to your advice? And then Damon, he got kind of quiet. He was like, she's gotten better. Everybody started laughing. It was funny. Steve feels that Damon has taken accountability. He has. Yeah, but his wife, he can't. This is the thing about life. This is a fact of life. You cannot control people, not even your spouse. You let them stand 10 toes on their own and you support them when needed. Toya and Eugene are each other's support dogs. That's why she called on him at the end to help with that Met Gala because she was embarrassed that she was about to fuck it up. So she had him going around acting like an old fake ass toy cop. Okay, they ain't even give you a flashlight. Ain't that what Martin said? Real men take accountability even if they are not wrong. That's what Steve said. I said, hallelujah, hallelujah. Ooh, I love me some Steve movie, girl. I see like you got 2 kids by that man, honey. Look, get that man 2 more babies. Ooh, honey, when I tell you Steve was just turning me on, honey, I thought I was Carrie Hilson, honey. Okay, turning me on, honey. I love him and Mimi. They my new favorite couple. Okay? If you don't do that and deflect, we got a problem. That's what Steve said. So why did old guilty ass Eugene just walk up into that? Okay? Eugene says, I don't deflect. Steve was not talking about you, nigga. He was talking in general. And like he said, a hit dog will holler. I was like, oh, bravo, 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 bravo. Yes. Oh, I love me some Steve, baby. So Eugene says, well, yeah, I am. Remember, I'm Mr. Bush. Damon said to Andy, this is as they was getting up to leave, right? He was like, Andy, I'm surprised I got a lot of questions this year. I thought that was so funny and cute. So that's a wrap on the guys. The husbands and the wives, they are all together on stage. Eugene says, look who's holding hands. Heavenly says the two old bitches. She talking about Jackie and Simone. We see footage of Simone saying several times she may want a divorce from Cecil. So they play their package. And I was like, oh, Simone is a manipulator. I think Simone is going to fuck around and find out the hard way. Like, Cecil, he may end up leaving your ass. Because these niggas, they don't like to be threatened. And they don't like you to, keep giving them ultimatums that you really don't mean. You're just saying shit so you can get in control of the marriage. Okay, you look foolish, Simone. Every time it's the same shit with Contessa. Every time y'all threaten to leave and don't leave. Every time you don't stand on business. These men ain't gonna take y'all serious. They get to talking about wife duties versus girlfriend duties. I think Andy had asked Curtis, like, what is something that you have to ask for now and you didn't have to ask for it when Jackie was just your girlfriend? Curtis says sex. I think Heavenly was like, he the wrong person you should ask. Then people start talking about Curtis and Jackie's sex life. They don't look like I don't know. I don't see them screwing. I can see Curtis and Toya fucking. Okay, I can see it. I mean, I'm just saying. They say Jackie is a closet freak. There's nothing like, and I'm not trying to be funny. I think that Jackie is a attractive woman, right? She's cute, but there's nothing like sexy about Jackie. She doesn't come off like she's a good time in the bedroom. She seems like a prude. It seems, I don't know. It looked like Jackie would, be fun to, play bingo with, watch Golden Girls on a Saturday, maybe some emptiness, maybe some talk with her and Curtis and, about life back in the day, child. I don't know. But I don't see Jackie in that way. Okay, what do I look like? Curtis talking about they gotta go to have sex 16 times a week. Y'all don't give that. Now, look, Quad and King, they gave that. Okay, I was like, yeah, I can tell they screwing, honey. But Jackie and Curtis, Cecil says, as a girlfriend, Simone was more mild-mannered. She didn't debate a lot. She would give him a pass on stuff. Simone said, honey, I did what I had to do until I got my ring. But your ring don't mean shit because you over there paying all them damn bills. I mean, I'm just saying, listen. They talked to Steve and Mimi about couples, raising special needs children. They have high divorce rates. Andy asks Mimi and Steve, what are you guys doing to prevent that? Mimi says that they do check in. Steve says that they tell each other they are doing a good job. They feel like they fall short a lot. It was hard sharing their son's special needs story. That's what Mimi says. And I love that Mimi shared with the group that, yes, she is a psychiatrist that goes to therapy, because she says that this is a battle that she will always have to fight with her son. So I thought that was very good of her to admit. It kind of humbled her to the group, made her a little bit more like they can understand her a little bit more and not get the judgy, the judginess of her, because I do understand that, you know, some people see her like that. That is kind of there. But I think that her admitting that humanized her is what I want to say. So, and I felt like that was good. The men in Simone's life, were not supporting her. They get to talking about Simone, her sons, and Cecil. Simone says Cecil has 2 jobs. Bitch, let me get a W-2. What jobs? Okay. Where are the jobs? Toya says, we don't believe that you would pay all of Cecil's bills. I said, shit. Is that what you over there doing, Mrs. Harris? Because I heard you over there paying the mortgage, the boys' tuition, you paying all the bills. Okay, we know the women make more than the men on this show. So Simone says that they split household bills. She hasn't cut the boys off. I see, your ass is at it again. Don't be complaining next year. She says she's making gradual changes. I would make some very big changes, especially Michael. His ass would be cut off. Okay, his behavior is deplorable. And I'm disgusted with the whole thing with Heavenly. Well, mom, I didn't speak to Heavenly. Heavenly don't care, nigga. She don't want to talk to your kind. She want to talk to Miles. He seems more mild-mannered than you. Michael comes off as selfish, narcissistic, spoiled, and entitled. Simone admitted that Michael is spoiled. She was smiling about that. I don't think it's cute. Andy said seeing how Michael was talking to Simone was disturbing. It was disturbing and disgusting, Andy. Jackie says Simone needs Cecil to help her deal with the boys. He ain't gonna do shit. Curtis told King that he and Quad were having fertility struggles because they did things out of order. Y'all remember that. Curtis said he didn't understand the magnitude of the struggles that Quad and King had to deal with. He apologized profusely. Heavenly said, that's how a man should take accountability. I was like, I know that's right, Eugene. Shit. They talk about the Met Gala. Why did Steve feel Eugene making him pay to get in was unfair? And then, you know what? I heard Contessa say in a video that none of the cast ever had to pay to get into a all cast event. She actually did an interview. So yeah, they were targeting Steve and Mimi. Okay, because both Eugene and Toya are jealous of Steve and Mimi and insecure. They are. It was strategic and targeted and intentional. Toya and Eugene wanted to embarrass Steve and Mimi. Toya says everybody knew they had to buy a ticket. Steve said Toya and Eugene didn't give anything last year. They only gave wine the year before. Toya talks over Steve, telling him to take accountability. I said, bitch, you projecting? Heavily says all they do is lie. Yeah, the Harrises are never accountable for their actions. Andy tells Toya to be quiet. Let's hear Steve. Steve says they have given more in 1 year than the Harrises have given in 3. I said, yes, tell them again, baby, tell them again. Honey, you would have thought we was at the Super Bowl with Steve, honey. When I tell you he was dragging Toya and Eugene's ass, and I'm like, where you at, Eugene, mister? I've been here for 12 years. You've been here for 12 years and never gave to the damn Met Gala. Okay, till this year. Child, make that make sense. They were strategically targeted at the door, Steve and Mimi. Steve says Eugene refuses to take accountability. Eugene says he felt he took plenty of accountability. I'm like, nigga, please. Steve says Eugene can't hold the fellas to a standard he doesn't hold himself to. You want Damon to apologize for Heavenly, but you won't apologize for your wife. Yep. That part. Look, that part right there. That's right, Steve. Steve says that's not right, and that's not what men do. Tell him, because he act like a bitch. Ugh. A bitch with glasses. Toya says nobody asked Damon to apologize for heavily. Yes, y'all do. Get your wife and y'all do that. Simone is full of shit and should shut the fuck up. I got that in my notes. Talking about if somebody is throwing something, they have a right to turn people away at the door. Girl, they was trying to be funny. Shut your ass up. Hold everybody to the same standards, says Mimi. Simone says she paid the money required of her and bought 10 tickets. Mimi says it's something about her and Steve's presence that irritates Toya and Eugene's insecurities, and I agree. Contessa says this was supposed to be about the ladies of Married to Medicine. Somehow it ended up being the Toya and Eugene show. Eugene should have just been a guest. I agree. Thank you, Contessa. The only person who should have held anyone to standards as far as the tickets are concerned is Toya or one of the women from the Married to Medicine group. I agree. Toya interrupts. For the first year, Jackie didn't share any details and requested money. For the second year, Jackie didn't share any of the details about the event and requested money. For the third year, Toya said she did the exact same thing as Jackie. You a damn lie. If you can buy a $5,000 bowl, then you can buy a ticket. Okay, so she was trying to take a dig at Steve and Mimi. It wasn't Eugene's job to guard the door. Toya was speaking over everybody, including her husband. He's steadily trying to say, boss, tag me in. Okay, and she wouldn't even let his ass speak. That reminded me of when he told her, Toya, let's go. And she refused to go with him, and he had to walk away by himself. Okay, run away from me with this. Andy had to tell Toya to be quiet. Yeah, shut your ass up. Eugene says the only reason he got involved was because they had a deadline, and Toya told him, I'm going to look like a fool if I don't get this done. So there it is. Eugene admits Toya was insecure the whole time about all of this. Yep. Quad. The group didn't like how Toya refused to donate to the Med Gala over the years. Why is it so hard for the group to come together for this event? Jackie says, because of how it started. They all admitted they have a 501. What is that? 50123. It's 30 days out, tax deductible. It was Toya's idea. Andy said he will donate in the future. Eugene explains how they had a girl at the front of the Met Gala taking money. Your wife has mentioned me taking my shirt off, said Steve. I know that makes you feel insecure and less than a man. They showed Toya. See, they had the receipts. Did you bring the receipts, baby girl? They showed Toya mentioning how Steve and King should have their shirts off and the rest of the men should keep their shirts on. So she does not talk about her husband in a sexual way. She's always putting him down, comparing him to other men. I'm sorry guys, but that is a sign a woman, she ain't into her man like that. Steve says he was singled out at the Met Gala. Eugene offers a passive-aggressive ass apology. Yeah, well, I'll say sorry if that's what you need. I'm like, ugh. I'm like, that is not an apology. Eugene says he's over it, and he gets up to walk out. And before he walks out, he says, I will come back when he stops having a temper tantrum. That's what you're doing. You're projecting on to Steve, sweetie. Steve says he's not having a temper tantrum. Eugene is just insecure. Steve says Eugene has a little man complex. Yeah, him and his Peter Weeder, honey, according to Toya. Damon and Scott clown Steve for being hangry. Steve starts laughing. I thought that was cute. Because it was a good way to diffuse the situation, right? Steve says he hasn't had any protein all day. Simone thanks Jackie for valuing their friendship. Heavenly, she says, to have someone on social media dragging her for the scene, I guess, with her husband and son. I'm like, Heavenly has always supported you when it came to that. So, Simone, shut your ass up. She is such a hater of Heavenly. She is jealous of Jackie and Heavenly's friendship. Honey, she ain't got me fooled. Heavenly says it hurts when Simone drags her husband. Heavenly kept asking Simone to be accountable, and of course her ass couldn't do it. Heavenly said, look at your friend over there. Jackie says she wants the group to operate in love and come together and make a difference. Simone said Jackie is not blocked. I would be done with Simone if I was Jackie, child. That's a messed up friendship contract that y'all got. Quad felt shunned by the group for years. Andy mentioned she actually acts like she wants to be there now. I thought that was shady. Quad says that the group is her family. Quad is emotional about this group because she says that she had to come up, honey, through the trenches. And I love that Contessa said to Quad, man or no man, you got it, Miss Quad, you got it. I like that. I thought that was cute and a great observation because she don't need King's punk ass, okay? Quad can stand alone on her own. I remember when she told Toya, bitch, I am stability. I was like, get her. Andy asked for Toya to wrap up season 12. Toya said the women are inspirational. That's it. You couldn't add. Okay, can you put in on this, man? But it was dry. Can you say Sahara? It just wasn't enough. You could have layered that shit. You could have said so much stuff, Toya, and you just didn't. But Toya is superficial. She's not deep. There's not much there. And she didn't have anything meaningful to say. Okay? And that, my friends, is a wrap. Okay? Now, where my damn lunch at? Okay?